All right. Let's dive into the Three Kings,
Oh, yeah.
the basics. But we've got some sources here
Right.
that explore everything, from how they travel
Yeah.
to that whole thing about delivering gifts in one night.
Yeah,
It's a lot to unpack.
it is.
Even as adults,
Yeah.
we can still find wonder in this stuff.
Absolutely.
Maybe even learn something new about these traditions.
Well, what I think is really interesting is how the Three Kings story
Yeah.
blends history and faith with magic.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're going to look at theories
Yeah.
grounded in like geography and astronomy
Mm-hmm.
and even some pretty far out there ideas about the limits of possibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how is it possible to visit every child
Right.
in a single night?
Yeah.
Do they have like a magical time-bending ability?
That's one theory that we'll
Wow.
talk about. But first, let's introduce these mysterious figures.
Okay.
Our sources tell us about Melchior, Caspar, and Balthazar. Yeah, and these guys, they weren't just gift givers.
Right.
They were like scholars, wise men,
Okay.
maybe even astrologers.
I see. So they
Yeah.
weren't just like randomly handing out presents or something.
Believe it or not.
Like each guy represents a different continent.
Uh-huh.
Europe, Asia, and Africa.
That's right.
Like this global unity
It is.
with everyone coming together.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have these wise men
Yeah.
representing global unity,
Mm-hmm.
but where did they come from?
Right.
The sources mention the East, but
That's pretty vague.
that's pretty vague, yeah.
Yeah, and that mystery adds to the allure a bit.
Okay.
Some people say Persia,
Uh-huh.
because Persia was known for its wise men,
Right.
astronomers who studied the stars.
Okay.
Others say Babylon because it was famous for astrologers.
Right.
And then there's the connection to India or Arabia for
Strengths.
frankincense and myrrh,
Oh, right.
the gifts that they brought.
So Persia for the wisdom,
Yeah.
Babylon for the stargazing,
Mm-hmm.
India or Arabia for the exotic gifts.
Right.
It's like pick your own adventure.
It is a little bit.
But are any of those theories more likely? Or is it all just like speculation?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
We don't really know.
Yeah.
It's like the missing pieces are part of the fun.
Okay.
We get to use our imagination
I like that.
to connect with our own understanding of who they might have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of journeys,
Yeah.
what about their trip to Bethlehem?
Right.
I mean, we always picture camels
Yeah.
crossing the desert,
It's a classic image.
but was that the most practical way to travel?
Well, camels are well suited for long journeys
Right.
through tough landscapes.
Yeah.
But depending on the terrain, they might have used horses for speed
Huh.
or donkeys because they're sure-footed. Or even traveled on foot through more challenging areas.
So like a multimodal commute.
It is.
So camels for the epic desert trek,
Right.
horses for speed,
Yep.
donkeys for reliability,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even some walking
Yeah.
for the tough spots.
Exactly.
But let's be real.
Okay.
The magic is in the star they followed, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whether it was a comet, a planet, or a miracle,
Mm-hmm.
the star brings in this element of wonder
Right.
that goes beyond any earthly mode of transportation.
Okay, but here's where I get a little lost.
Okay.
How do they deliver gifts to every child in one night,
Right.
even with magical camels and GPS?
Yeah.
That just seems impossible.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And to try to explain it, our sources offer some wild theories.
Okay.
One is that they can manipulate time.
Like pause it.
Yeah, pause it, stretch it, or bend it.
So one night feels like a week.
Exactly.
Like a divine time turner.
Right.
Give them the time they need.
Exactly.
But there's another theory,
Yeah.
even more mind-bending.
Multi-dimensional travel.
Wait, are we talking quantum entanglement?
Let's keep it simple.
Okay.
Imagine projecting yourself to countless locations all at once.
Okay.
That would make gift delivery easy. Of
No.
course, it's speculation,
Right.
but it's fun to think about.
It is.
Yeah, right.
And it makes you wonder
Yeah.
if they could navigate multiple dimensions,
Mm-hmm.
how would they handle the modern world?
Right.
How do they stay hidden with all our tech?
That's where the invisibility theories come in.
Okay.
They might have cloaks or spells that make them undetectable to our eyes and gadgets.
It's like a magical cloaking device.
Exactly.
But how do they get into modern apartments?
Yeah.
Like those high rises in New York,
Yeah.
they just phase through walls.
Well, that's one possibility.
Okay.
But there's another theory,
Okay.
instantaneous transport.
Like teleporting.
Yeah, right into a kid's room.
Now that's efficient.
It is?
No need for chimneys.
Nope.
But how would they know where to go?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It really gets to the heart of how they navigate today.
Hmm.
Do they still rely on ancient methods?
Or have they adapted?
Or is there something else entirely?
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take a closer look at the logistics.
Yeah.
You know how they manage global gift giving,
Right.
how they navigate
Oh,
with a world that's always changing.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We can look into those theories about the infinite magic sack,
Okay.
explore how they handle those forgetful kids
Right.
who don't leave their shoes out,
Yeah.
and even consider what they do for the rest of the year when they're
Okay.
not delivering presents.
This is going to be good. I
Is.
can't wait to see what else we find out about these guys.
Me neither. So we've talked about their travel, but
Yeah.
what about the gifts themselves?
Right.
If they're carrying presents for every child,
Mm-hmm.
it's got to be a pretty impressive bag, right?
Yeah, it has to be more than just a big sack.
Right.
Like, we're talking about a bottomless container
Yeah.
to fit all those gifts.
It would have to be.
I mean, how is that even possible?
Well, that's where the idea of the
Yeah.
infinite magic sack comes in.
Mm.
It's described as a container that never gets full.
Okay, that makes sense. But even with infinite space,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be a jumbled mess in there?
Right.
Like, do they have some kind of magical organization system?
That's a fun thought.
Yeah.
Maybe it's self-organizing.
Okay.
Like each gift is instantly accessible.
Right.
Or maybe it works based on what each kid wants.
Like a wish fulfillment thing?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's fascinating to think about.
Right, but what about those kids who forget to leave their shoes out?
Yeah.
Do the Magi just skip them?
Well, that wouldn't be very magical, would it?
No.
Our sources say they might have ways to handle that.
Okay.
Maybe they have those magical helpers we talked about
Uh-huh.
who can remind families,
Okay.
to set things up.
To leave their shoes out.
Right.
So no one is accidentally overlooked?
Exactly.
Or maybe the star guides them
That could be.
to the right spot?
Yeah.
Shoes or no shoes?
Right.
So even those who forget don't miss out.
They don't miss out.
That's good.
It is.
So what about the three kings themselves?
Yeah.
Were they friends before this whole journey?
Oh.
Or did they just meet up along the way?
That's another mystery.
Yeah.
Some theories say they were scholars
Okay.
who knew each other through their studies.
Okay.
Maybe even working together to understand the star's prophecy.
Like a scholarly dream team
Exact.
brought together by destiny.
That's a good way to put it.
But there's also the idea that they started separately,
Uh-huh.
each following the star
Yeah.
from their own homeland.
Right.
Imagine if they were surprised
Well, right.
when their paths converged.
Yeah, like, wow, we're all doing the same thing.
That's cool.
It is.
So we talked about their journey,
Mm.
magical abilities,
Right.
possible backstories.
Yeah.
But what do they do the rest of the year
Right.
when they're
Yeah.
not delivering gifts?
Relaxing on a beach somewhere.
That's funny.
It is.
But our sources suggest
Yeah.
they might have other things going on.
They might.
Like maybe reflecting on their experiences,
Mm-hmm.
crafting new gifts,
Yeah.
or even observing children to get a better sense of what they want.
Exactly.
So they're not just delivering gifts, they're actively making sure those gifts are meaningful.
It adds a whole new layer to it.
It does.
Yeah.
So how do they keep up with what kids want?
Yeah.
Especially when things change so quickly.
Right.
I mean, do they have a magical connection to the minds of children
Maybe.
or a network of informants?
It's possible.
Little spies reporting back.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's go back to navigation.
Okay.
So they followed a star centuries ago.
Uh-huh.
Do they still do that today?
It does seem old-fashioned,
It does.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
But maybe the star still guides them,
Okay.
just invisibly.
So only they can see it.
Right, like a secret beacon.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be easier to just use GPS
Maybe.
or Google Maps?
But they might be operating outside of our normal understanding of space and time. GPS relies on satellites,
Yeah.
and that might not even work for them.
And it wouldn't be nearly as enchanting, would it?
It wouldn't.
So why is Three Kings Day celebrated in some places,
Right.
but not in others?
Well, it has to do with historical and cultural connections.
Okay.
In places like Spain
Uh-huh.
and Latin America,
Yeah.
the Epiphany is a big deal.
So it's more than just gifts.
Exactly.
It's a big religious and cultural event.
It is.
But in other places like the U.S.,
yeah.
the Santa Claus tradition took over.
Yeah, it became the main focus.
But even in those places,
yeah.
there are still communities that celebrate Three Kings Day.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Often with ties to Spanish or Catholic traditions.
So they keep those traditions alive,
They do.
even within those dominant cultural narratives.
Yeah, it shows the diversity and the preservation of traditions.
That's cool.
It is.
But it's wild to think that we've never seen them,
Right.
like a photo or a video.
With all the technology we have today?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
It is.
So how do they stay hidden?
That's a great question.
Are they just that good at it?
It goes to the heart of the mystery.
Yeah.
Are they masters of stealth, or is there something else going on?
Something we don't understand.
Right.
Okay, so what are some of the explanations?
Well, one theory is that they might be able to make themselves undetectable to technology.
Undetectable to technology.
Right.
Wow, that's something else.
It is, right.
But tell me more about that.
So they might have this like magical cloaking mechanism.
Uh-huh.
It not only hides them from sight,
Okay.
but also from things like radar and satellites.
So they're like invisible to all those tracking systems.
Yeah, even those doorbell cameras.
Really?
Everywhere these days.
Wow.
So it's like they're moving through the world without a trace.
They're like ghosts in the machine.
Right.
That's pretty impressive.
It is.
But what about GPS?
Yeah.
Couldn't you track them if you knew where all the gifts were going?
You'd think so.
Right.
But remember,
Yeah.
we're dealing with beings who might not be bound by our understanding of time and space.
Okay.
What if they're so fast
Yeah.
that they just don't register on those systems?
They're too quick for the tech to pick up.
Exactly.
So they're super fast and technologically invisible?
Yeah, pretty hard to catch.
But what about all those people who leave out snacks for the Three Kings?
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, wouldn't they notice if the snacks were left untouched?
Well, that's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Some sources say the Magi can interact with the physical world,
Uh-huh.
but only just enough to leave gifts. Not enough to trigger sensors or leave a trace.
So they're kind of like there but not there.
Right, it's like they're in two places at once.
That's wild.
It is, right.
Quantum magi, huh?
It's a mind-blowing concept.
It is.
But it speaks to the idea
yeah.
that their magic works on a level we can't fully understand.
It's kind of thrilling, though, isn't it?
It is.
To think that even today there's still room for mystery and magic.
Absolutely. It's appealing.
It
That
is.
there might be more to the world than we see.
Yeah. Okay, but back to the star for a second.
Okay.
If they're not using GPS
Right.
and the star is invisible to everyone else,
Yeah.
how do they know where to go?
Well, maybe it's more intuitive.
Okay.
What if they navigate by instinct?
Like a feeling.
Yeah, guided by the star's energy.
Okay.
Like a homing beacon.
So less about coordinates and more about connection and purpose.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
It is. It reminds us that
Yeah.
sometimes the most important journeys are guided by something more than logic or technology.
Well, we've explored a lot today.
We have.
Origins, travel, gift giving, even staying hidden.
It's amazing how much mystery still surrounds them
It really is.
after all these centuries.
So what can we take away from all of this?
I think it's a reminder to hold on to our own sense of wonder,
Okay.
to embrace the possibility that there might be more to the world than we can see.
To keep an open mind. So even in our world of technology and reason,
Yeah,
there's still room for magic,
and mystery,
right? And belief in the extraordinary.
even if we don't understand it fully.
I like
Oh,
that.
right.
As we wrap up,
Yeah.
one final question.
Okay.
If the Magi can become invisible,
Yeah.
is that why we've never captured them on record?
In history or photos or anything,
That's something to think about, right?
it is. And as you continue to explore this,
Mm-hmm.
remember that sometimes the best answers
Yeah.
aren't in facts, but in imagination.
And wonder.
Exactly.
A perfect note to end on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of the Three Kings.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep that magic alive.
Absolutely.